Hey, welcome to my DIY. So today we should be doing something easy. We're going to make our own clay ornaments. For this project, you need string, a baking tray, cookie cutters, an old cutting board, scupley clay. A rolling pin can also be used, but not necessary. So I'm taking one packet of the sculpted clay original. This is not an air dry clay and will need to be baked later. Anyways, I'm only going to use a little piece of this. So I'm going to take this piece and cut it in half. This should make about 3 ornaments, but totally depends on the size of your cookie cutters. So right here, I'm taking my flimsy butter knife, because why not get on the struggle bus this early on the project? And this clay has been in my garage for about 2.5 years now. So once I finally get this cut in half, I'm going to take the piece that I'm not using and I'm going to put it away. You can use all the clay if you want. My cookie cutters are about 5 inches long, so you can use a smaller mold and make more. A word of caution, clay is extremely drying and it will destroy your hands. It can also be extremely messy and it can get underneath your nails. Honestly, I'm not about that life right now, so I'm going to knead this clay in this bag until it gets soft. Oh yeah, if you haven't done it yet, put your old cutting board on the table. Wax paper will not work during this part, trust me, I know. Once your clay is soft, it's going to be easier to shape it. Let's continue my ride on the struggle bus. Oy. Here's where I'm supposed to be grabbing my rolling pin, which I don't have, so I'm using my old vitamin bottle instead. Like I said, you don't really need a rolling pin. All you need to do is just flatten this piece of clay out and make sure it's even in all sides. Honestly, if I didn't find this bottle, I would have used a can of soup, so just be adaptable. So in between me rolling this piece of clay, I'm actually peeling it off the cutting board and rolling the other side, so it's not completely stuck to the cutting board. Also want to make sure the other side of your clay is not cracked and is also smooth. As you can see, peeling it off the board can be challenging, so it's important not to smush it into the board. Here, I'm finding random objects around my house and using it as a pattern. I also decided to use this old stamp that I had laying around. But you can use anything, like an old bottle cap or a fork or whatever. Holy crap, my hands got ashy. Anyways, trust the process. Clay is very forgiving, and you could always re-roll it if you mess up. Once you're done with your pattern, place your cookie cutter on top of the clay. Press firmly. Here, I'm just peeling off the excess, so save this for later. Here, I'm just removing my cookie cutter, and I'm going to slowly peel this ornament off. That's why we don't smush the clay onto the board. Anyways, I dropped this one on the floor and had to completely restart. So now for the next ornament. Look what I found! Actually, my husband felt bad and bought me this last minute. But honestly, I'd rather use my pill bottle. This left a bunch of wood pieces in my clay. Was it worth the $3? No. Anyways, I'm doing the same process I was doing earlier. Roll, peel, flip, roll. Once it was flat, I decided to use my stamps again. Continuing on with my random pattern. This time I found some butterfly stamps, so of course that's what I'm going to use for this. I don't know how Christmas and butterflies go together, but I want to make it work. If you can't tell, I'm pressing pretty firmly down on this clay. This is because the stamp has small details. Now I'm using my cookie cutter, and we're almost done with my second Christmas tree. So here's what my stamps made. Like I said, I was going to make it work. So I'm just going to grab all my ornaments and place them down on this cutting board. I'm taking a thumbtack. Now I'm going to make some string holes. All you gotta do is just poke a hole right through the top of your ornament. Make sure the holes are big enough to fit string through. It seems simple enough, but this is actually pretty hard. You definitely want to flip this over and do both sides. Also, you definitely want to do this before you bake your clay. Right here, I'm just showing you my hole. Now I'm grabbing my old baking pan and putting them all in there. So I lined mine with some wax paper so they won't get stuck to the bottom. So gently place them in there, making sure they don't touch. So for this type of clay, I'm going to bake them for 15 minutes at 275 degrees. Baking time is dependent on how thick you made them. So here's some I made earlier. Once this hardens, you can glue things to it or paint it. I'm too lazy for that, so I made a scarf. On the tree, I just glued some ribbon around it. Easy peasy, right? Once you're done decorating, it's time for string or ornament hooks, whatever's easiest for you. Here, I'm just adding some extra beads and making a knot. I'm double knotting my string and boom, we're pretty much done with this ornament. So here's what these two look like. Well, since that was so easy, I decided to make something different. I also had a bunch of extra clay. Here, I decided to make holes in the bottom of my ornaments before I bake them. I'm going to make a door decoration. I grabbed some beads, a wire ornament hanger, and I thread my beads through. I'm planning to use this to hook my other ornaments together, just like that. All I'm doing is attaching a wire to each hole, and then attaching an ornament to each wire. I do this about 3 more times, and then voila, I'm done. So this is what it looks like. I thought it came out pretty neat, so here's a close-up. These were the easiest things I've ever made, and I mostly use stuff just laying around my house, so Just imagine what you can do. Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like. Bye!